Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Kieran, of course, from Red Devil Weekly, to give my quick thoughts on what was a very successful evening for Manchester United as we toppled Reading by 3-1. A game of two halves, really. First half, very frustrating from a United point of view. Reading did very, very well indeed and kept us at bay. We had an offside goal ruled out, and obviously we can have a discussion on whether that decision was the correct one or not. VAR obviously made the decision to overturn the goal, and Reading actually had a chance towards the end of that first half where really they probably should have and could have done a lot better. Junior Hoylett's shot blocked by David De Gea on the line. But in the second half, United came to life and actually started taking some of their chances. Casemiro scoring a brace and Fred getting a goal with a flick on from a corner. We did concede that goal from Mbengue towards the end from a corner, direct from a corner, which I know David De Gea is going to be very frustrated about indeed. But ultimately, we got the result. We're through to the fifth round of the FA Cup, and I'm very excited about that. And I'm excited to see who we get. I don't think we're going to get an easy draw. I feel like our luck with draws is going to run out very, very soon. But I'm happy we're in the hat for the next round, and we continue that momentum. So that's my quick summary on the game. Let me know your thoughts in the live chat. RB Comps, thanks for joining. Casemiro, what a player, he said. By the way, check out RB Comps, brilliant stuff on there as usual. I always shout him out, but he's got brilliant content on there. Make sure if you do love football compilations, check it out. Great stuff on there, getting better and better every video. But yeah, Casemiro, unbelievably good tonight. I thought it was quite unlucky not to get man of the match considering his 2 goals tonight, but Anthony got man of the match from the ITV pundits, and actually I thought Anthony did have a very good game, barring a goal. He nearly had the complete game for me. I thought he was really good. If he could improve his finishing, he would have had a 10 out of 10 night for me, but he does need to improve that, cut inside out on his left foot, because that's really his signature move. And tonight it just didn't work out for him. He had 4 or 5 missed opportunities with his left foot tonight. So if he worked on that, it would have been a 10 out of 10 performance. But yeah, Casemiro, superb tonight. I think that's his 4th goal in a Manchester United shirt. And boy, looking like he was worth every single penny. Brilliant performance from him. And the second goal especially, I didn't really, expect that shot to go in. I kind of thought it might be on target, but I thought the keeper would have enough to just parry it away. I didn't think it had enough power on it. But it went right into the corner of the net, and obviously a huge moment in the game to go 2-0 up. Because at 1-0, yes, we still felt like we would have been in control of the game, but 2-0 really killed it off and allowed us to make those substitutions. And thankfully, Rashford, Casemiro, Fernandes, all of these guys got off the pitch without any sort of injury problems, and that's what we wanted from tonight. A safe passage through to the 5th round and none of our players getting injured. I'll just turn that off, sorry. But let me know your man of the matches in the live chat. As I said, this will be a fairly quick stream, so if you are watching, thank you very much, appreciate it. Let me know your man of the matches in the live chat right now. RJ's joining us. Thank you for joining, RJ. Appreciate it. He says, nice, easy dub. Yep, it turned out to be that way. Turned out to be an easy dub for United. As I said, the first half was very frustrating. We obviously got the goal chalked off, but we did create a decent amount of chances, but we didn't really trouble the keeper too much, apart from the goal that got chalked off. So, it was quite a frustrating half from that sense, and obviously Reading could have gone in 1-0 up if it wasn't for David De Gea's save. So, a pretty frustrating first half, not one that Ten Hag would have liked to seen, but the second half we really made our dominance pay, and Casemiro getting 2 goals. A very, very good second half from Manchester United. As I said, a game of 2 halves, definitely. But we're through, and ultimately in these cup competitions, it's not about how you get through, it's just that you get into the hat for the draw. And that's what we did. And we did a fairly professional job in that second half, barring the goal we conceded, which was a very poor goal to concede, especially straight from a corner. We haven't conceded many of those this season, but it was a very frustrating goal to concede. I'm sure David De Gea is not going to be very happy with his defenders. Nearly another clean sheet at Old Trafford for him. But yeah, unfortunately it wasn't to be. And I think that can give us an indication of what happens when we don't have our first choice back line. Those sort of goals are always going to, come. So, that was one of the main changes that Ten Hag made. And obviously, he only made, one change from the team that played Forest. So, Yeah, it was a bit of a weird team. I thought we did go quite strong. I was expecting us to make a lot of changes. I thought there was going to be a lot more rotation than there actually was. And obviously we won the game, so Ten Hag's vindicated in his decision and no one got injured. But obviously there was that lingering threat of, someone potentially going down and, having to miss the next few games. And if that did happen, there would have been a few questions thrown Ten Hag's way. But fortunately, we can move on from that now because it didn't happen. And we move on to Forest. As RJ says, he can't wait for that Forest game. 3-0 up on aggregate. It should be a very interesting game to see who we play, if there is any rotation in that one. I think there will be some rotation at least. You'd expect with a 3-0 lead going into a home leg of us, even though it's a semi-final and you want to get the job done. I mean, we're 3-0 up, so we should be able to see it through whatever lineup we put out. But at the same time, Ten Hag seems to like to go fairly strong with his 11. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see a fairly strong 11 start the match. But with that 3-goal advantage, I'm hoping to see the likes of Garnacho, the likes of Palestri start. Hopefully we get to see more of those guys. Because I thought when they came off the bench tonight, they actually had decent games. They actually impacted the game a lot. Yeah, I mean, the ITV pundits gave Anthony man of the match, and I thought Anthony had a very good game. I think Casemiro was very unlucky not to get it as well, with scoring 2 goals and playing the way he did. I thought Rashford, whilst he didn't get his goal, and I think he will be a little bit annoyed that he didn't get his goal, especially because towards the end of that game, Reading's defence was parting for him. I think he will be bit disappointed, but I think he showed some flashes of brilliance, and obviously, unfortunately for him, had that goal chalked off for offside. So, nearly 10 in 10 for Marcus Rashford. But ultimately, a win that takes us through to the next round. You can't complain too much. I mean, you can't really complain at all, apart from the goal that we conceded. This was actually something that, thanks for reminding me actually, because this was something I want to talk about. Obviously, RJ saying thoughts on the Carroll Red. Andy Carroll, who actually in the first half, I thought played quite well. Was winning all the headers against Lindelof, was very good in the aerial duels. It's just that, Reading didn't really have anyone to flick the ball onto. And, they weren't getting much joy. But Carroll, to be fair to him, was winning a lot of the strength battles and actually winning a lot of the headers. But, yeah, the second yellow card for me, the one on Casemiro, it was a very needless challenge to make. And ultimately, probably did deserve a yellow card. The first yellow card, I can't really remember it. I remember it not being as not being as stonewall a yellow card as the second one. But yeah, I can't remember what Carroll actually got that for, whether it was just a late challenge. But I think ultimately it was just a bit of a brain fade from him. I think he might, argue it was a little bit soft, and the second one, you could argue maybe he kind of was just on the tail end of a slide tackle and couldn't stop himself. But ultimately, from someone as experienced as him, you would expect a lot more, kind of level-headedness and temperament. So, I enjoyed it. Obviously, as someone who, has played for Liverpool in the past and has, in the past caused a lot of problems for us as a bit of a kind of target man in the Premier League. It was a nice thing, kind of just, seeing him off really. I mean, I think that'll probably be his last appearance at Old Trafford. Maybe his last appearance at the highest level. So, yeah, I think I was expecting a lot more level-headedness from him, really. I think, whilst he might think it was a bit soft, I think he will be reflecting on it, saying, ultimately he should know better, really, to go into those sort of dangerous tackles, especially when you're on a yellow card. But yeah, RJ said, remind me of Podbury and I didn't want to be there. Yeah, it did look a little bit like he didn't really... I mean, the first half, it looked like he fancied it. He was winning a lot of the headers, but he just didn't really... in the second half, he was struggling a little bit, and obviously, it was just a brain fade, and I feel like... I don't know whether it was out of character for him. I can't say that, he was ever really the smartest tool in the box in the Premier League, but, ultimately, you'd expect a lot more... level-headedness from him, in my opinion. And RJ says, who would you like in the next round? Well, good question, actually. I'm not sure. Just, obviously, you want to win silverware. And I'm not, this United team, with the way we're playing, I'm not really scared of anyone. I mean, even Arsenal. I'm not really scared of any side. I think we can take on anyone. And obviously the top six this season, at least three of the kind of so-called top six in Liverpool, Chelsea and Spurs aren't really having the best of seasons. So, for me, I think we shouldn't really be worrying too much about who we, draw in the next round. But ultimately, whatever helps us, get to the next round and win silverware. I mean, it's going to be very chocker in terms of our fixture list. We've got another 5th round fixture to schedule in alongside all these other fixtures we're playing. So it's not going to be easy. And that is going to make it even more difficult, the fixture scheduling. But at the same time, if we are going to, compete on all fronts, we've got to be able to deal with this scheduling. And we can't be like Klopp, because I feel like we all clowned Jurgen Klopp last season or in previous seasons for talking about the fixture list. So we've just got to, I think we've just got to firm it. We've just got to go with it and hope that our depth holds out, which on this evidence is going to be a bit difficult to foresee, considering Ten Hag doesn't like making subs. RJ, thanks for joining. Not RJ, sorry, G, thanks for joining. Thanks to RJ for being in the chat, but G, thanks for joining. Appreciate it. Make sure to check out Red Devil Studio. Brilliant stuff over there. Go and support his content. Such good Manchester United content over there. Massive win for Manchester United. Expected. I'm not going to sit here and say it was a miracle-like result, which we weren't expecting. Obviously, we knew that going into this game, there was a high chance that we were going to progress to the 5th round. But, we did a fairly professional performance in the second half at least. The first half was very frustrating. But the second half, it's great to see Casemiro score twice. I think it's almost a reward, really, for how well he's been playing recently. And it's great to see him get on the score sheet. But, in the second half, we actually kind of finished some of our chances. And it was good to kind of just get over the line and get through. Hopefully we kind of... Well, RJ wants City. I like that. I like the challenge. I like the positivity. I think we can't be scared of anyone, really. As I said, to win these sort of competitions, you have to beat the best. I know City in previous years have had fairly easy runs, and that's probably putting it quite mildly, to be honest. But you still need to, along the way, eventually beat a top team. So, it doesn't really matter if we beat them in the 5th round or the final. If we have to go through Man City, so be it. We can't fear anyone. RJ, I keep seeing the R at the start of your name. Sorry, G. I keep seeing the R and I just think RJ. But G saying we would be finished without Casemiro. Yeah, Casemiro this season, I mean, the fact that he's in conversations for like player of the season in the Premier League, kind of shows how good he is. And when he was out of the team for that Arsenal game, yes, obviously we pushed Arsenal most of the way, but I thought Arsenal were fairly dominant, especially in that second half. Without him, we're just a completely different side. So tonight, he got his 2 goals, and I'm really happy for him because, that's 4 goals for the season now, and it's great that he's adding that to his game. He fully deserves it. Fully deserves his goals, and it couldn't happen to a better player. But you're right, G. You are right. It's without Casemiro, we're in a bit of a pickle because Eriksen, looked like he took a bit of a whack and came off, and he can sometimes ghost, especially in games where he's playing against quite a physical midfield. But yeah, ultimately, I think Casemiro is so important to us, but if he gets an injury, we're going to be in a spot of bother. And obviously there's rumours that we might be going for Caicedo. I'm not aware of any sort of bids or anything like that. And obviously he came out yesterday, was it? Or was it today? With a statement saying that he was going to leave Brighton. So maybe, I feel like, Caicedo wouldn't be a bad player to kind of have in the squad at least. So if Casemiro does, have to take a few games out, we've got someone that's a fairly similar player. But let me know your thoughts on that. Would you guys go in for Caicedo right now? Would you guys look to pay the money? I'm not sure how much it would be, but I don't think it would be cheap. RJ says, nah, after the Arsenal game, we easily beat City. Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I guess if you're talking about the game yesterday, yeah, City didn't look up to much, to be honest. I mean, Arsenal were probably the better side in the game. City got the job done, and they're in the next round. So, again, I can't really contradict myself. It doesn't matter how you get through, as long as you get through, of course. But, yeah, I don't think City looked amazing in that game. And to be honest, I don't think they've looked amazing all season, or at least they haven't looked at their best. So, we beat them at Old Trafford. If we've got another home tie, I said, we can't be scared. We can't be scared. Rich, thanks for joining. Appreciate it. I hope you're doing well, Rich. Make sure you check out Rich's channel as well. Brilliant stuff over there as usual. He says, never in doubt. But he said he doesn't want City. Oh, Rich, we got to be confident whoever we play, I mean, at the end of the day, I do agree that if we want to kind of have the best chance of going forward in the tournament, of course you want to get I don't know, who's still in it? I don't even know. A League One or a League Two side, but at the same time, at some point, the odds are we're going to have to play a tough team. So if we get that out of the way and we knock them out early, that'll give us loads of confidence. But at the same time, we just want to progress. RJ said, don't be worried, Kieran. I know you read my opinions. Of course, RJ, of course. RJ knows what he's talking about. I've been on a lot of streams with RJ. He knows what he's talking about. Oh God, I didn't expect that. But yeah, ultimately, I appreciate everyone that's tuning in. As I said, it was only going to be a fairly short reaction because I don't think we learnt too much from this game. It was great to see the likes of Mainu get on the pitch, and I thought he took his minutes quite well. But ultimately, the result that we were all expecting happened. I think Ten Hag went with a stronger lineup than we were expecting, but ultimately, if we get the job done, then it's not too much of an issue. Anthony, I thought he played really well. I thought, apart from the fact that he just couldn't hit a barn door tonight, his passing was quite good. Obviously set up Casemiro's opener, very well indeed. Very nice move for that one. His link-up play was a lot better, but yeah, his finishing, if he could just work on that finishing, he would have had a 10 out of 10 game for me. RJ says, opinions on Dyche to Everton. Best move from Everton, said RJ. Well, I mean, it was inevitable, to be honest, that Sean Dyche was always going to get back into the Premier League at some point. I think everyone in football kind of knew in the back of their heads that Sean Dyche was going to be an option for any kind of team heading towards the relegation zone. And I actually rate Dyche as a manager. Yes, he kind of got sacked before Burnley were going to get relegated, and it kind of ended not in the way he would have hoped. But I actually think tactically, he's not a bad manager. I know he gets clowned a lot for the kind of the way he plays and the pragmatic way he plays, kind of looking to kind of park the bus and then kind of put it forward to the big man up front. But I don't think it would be the worst thing for Everton. If anything, the squad he's going to be working with is a lot more talented than the one he had at Burnley. And, I just think it will galvanise the club. I think he is someone who players like playing for. It didn't really feel like to me that he fell out with any players at Burnley. I think he's got good man management. So I don't think it's the worst move from Everton, especially when you're looking at kind of trying to save yourself from relegation. I think, they're obviously playing Arsenal in their first game back this weekend. So, not this weekend, sorry. Is it next weekend or midweek? I'm not sure. I think it's next weekend, actually. But they are playing Arsenal in his first game, which I think the Premier League are hoping, every fan in the Premier League is hoping for a little bit of new manager bounce there to give Arsenal a tough time. And I think it will. I think he will really galvanise the team. So a change had to be made, really, at Everton. And I don't think it's the worst guy they could have brought in. They've tried the Galactico managers like Ancelotti and Benitez, and they just didn't work for them. So ultimately, it's probably not the worst move in the world. So yeah, I think time will tell, but I don't think it's the worst move. He knows the league, and he knows how to work with a team that usually is down the bottom. He knows how to scrap. He knows how to scrap, and that's something that Everton, unfortunately, are going to have to get used to this season. But who knows? Who knows? Dyche could take them up the table in the right direction. But guys, thanks for watching. Really appreciate it. Final comment from Rich, and I will end on this point. But thank you for everyone that's tuned in. Really appreciate it. I hope you've enjoyed my reaction. Man of the match for me, I would have said Casemiro because I thought he played really well overall, and to get 2 goals as well. I think he thoroughly deserved the goals, especially for how he's played, not only in that game, but this season for us. So, very, very happy for him that he got on the score sheet twice. Anthony was given man of the match, but for me, I would have gone with Casemiro. Let me know your thoughts on man of the match in the comment section down below. Asim, thanks for joining as well. He says, Erik Ten Hag, best coach in the world. Right now on form, there's a conversation to be had. There's a conversation to be had. But guys, thanks for watching. Really appreciate all of you for tuning in. If you did enjoy it, please do hit that like button. And also, if you are new, subscribe to the channel. We do these sort of videos every week, hence the name Red Devil Weekly, although sometimes, I'm not going to lie, it doesn't work out like that. But we try and keep it weekly as much as possible. But guys, thank you so much for watching. Really do appreciate it. And yeah, leave your thoughts in the comment section down below if you're watching on the replay. Appreciate all the guys that have tuned in, and go check out all the channels that I've shouted out tonight. Rich Sports, G's channel, Red Devil Studio as well, and of course RB Comps. Check all those channels out, guys. Brilliant stuff over there for everyone, not just United fans, but for any football fans. So yeah, guys, thanks for watching. Really appreciate it, and a very positive result for Manchester United. A performance of 2 halves, but we're in the hat for round 5, and that's all we can ask for. But on that note, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Cheers.